Welcome, everybody, back to another episode of That's Baseball, Erika. I am your host, Erika, where we talk about Yankees pre-game, post-game, up-to-date news, all that good stuff. So let's get into it. As you know, the Yankees are in a 4-game series with the Boston Red Sox right now, and they are currently up 2-1 in the series, with the game tonight deciding if they go up 3-1 or they split the series 2-2. I'm pretty confident that James Paxton can get it done, and especially how I feel like the Red Sox are just down and out. They're, I think, 7.5 games out of the wild card spot now. It's almost like a miracle needs to happen for them to get into the playoff picture. But someone that's in the playoff picture are the New York Yankees, which is beautiful. So Friday was game 1. And they ended up losing the game 6-1. Herman was on the mound, and he just didn't have it. You know, guy's 17-3 prior to this game. He's now 17-4, and it's okay. You know, the Red Sox are not a bad team. They have a pretty good lineup, you know, from top to bottom for the most part. And he just didn't have his command. Gave up a lot of runs. I think 5 earned runs, and he walked like four guys. So his command just wasn't there. He looked good in the beginning, but then it just it fell off. So, and not to mention, he didn't get any run support. Yankees only scored 1 run. So, I mean, you can't expect to win that game, you know? And, I mean, if there's a bright spot in that game, it's that the bullpen, with a bunch of guys called up from the minors, held them to 1 run. And that 1 run was off of somebody that has been on the Yankee bullpen most of the season, and that's Nestor Cortes Jr. So you can't, I mean, it's 1 game, you know, you can't expect to win them all. As much as we would have loved to sweep the Red Sox, they're a good team. So moving on to game 2, Yankees win 5-1, and J.A. Happ continues to impress and continues to prove me wrong about my confidence level with him. He actually he pitched through 7, or I think like 6 1/3, and that's all you can ask for. I mean, that's the Hap that we were seeing last season when he was in the second half of the season pitching against bad teams, but he's starting to do it against better teams, and it almost gets to the point where you're asking yourself, do you put him on the playoff starting rotation? Especially over someone that hasn't been as consistent right now, like Tanaka. I mean, there's a lot of questions, and I personally wouldn't, but we kind of have to see how September plays out. So 5-1 win in the second game on Saturday, and Encarnacion, ever since he's gotten back, has looked like a machine. He's looked like the DH that you want in the playoffs. He's getting home runs. He's getting extra base hits. He's seeing the ball great. Every ball off of his bat looks like it's going to do damage. And you got to love it. You got to love that. I'm so happy for that, especially with Luke Voit. His bat's not too hot right now. He's probably just starting to get into the groove of things, especially with his injury. You know, you can't really swing a bat the way that you were swinging. I mean, look at Aaron Judge. Although he came back and he was considered healthy, it still seemed like he was a little scared to pull the ball. And now he's ripping line drives down third baseline, probably at like 120 miles exit velo. So, but yeah, Encarnacion is looking great. Which brings us to game number trace. Yankees win last night, 10-5. But Tanaka is looking shaky. He got into the 3rd or 4th. He gave up that 2-run home run to Jackie Bradley Jr., and he started to give up doubles to Sandy Leon and whoever else hit one. It's scary. It's so scary. I know you got to see how September plays out. And I've been saying Tanaka should be a starter because of how well he does in the playoffs. He shuts things down. You know, his splitter and his slider look good, but he just doesn't look like he has it right now. And it's kind of scary going into the playoffs. And right now, J.A. Happ looks like the more dominant pitcher. So how do you approach that situation? I don't know. I'm not the one making those decisions. But if it was up to me, I would say you still got to give Tanaka the ball in a game 2 or 3 situation, So, but we'll get into that a little bit later. And so he has a shaky start, but I think the turning point of the game, aside from the Yankees starting to score 10 runs or whatnot, was Chad Green. Chad Green came in, and I think he came in for 3 innings, and he completely shut it down. I think he had like 5 strikeouts in 3 innings. He looked unhittable, absolutely dominant. His fastball was disgusting. They could not catch up to it. And that's another question for the playoffs, right? So can Chad Green... Here's my thoughts. Actually, no, we'll get back to this. So Chad Green looks great, right? Settles everything down. Somebody's calling me. I'm declining it. I don't even know who it is. So Chad Green looks good. Gleyber Torres, as I said last time, is a superstar in the making, if not already. 22-year-old stud. You just can't say enough about him. He went 3 for 5 yesterday, hit another home run. By the way, ESPN, I'm pretty sure they have microphones in the bats because the way that you hear the crack of the bat on their broadcast is incomparable to anybody else. It's wild. But I also don't like the ESPN broadcast. And Matt Vasgersian and Jessica Mendoza and whatever, I can't deal with it. I put it on mute. I watch it on mute, and I rather listen to John Sterling. But that's a whole nother situation. They're just ugh. Judge stays hot. He hits a home run. It looked like a bomb, but the Green Monster is so close. It's the dimensions of that park are. I know it's a classic. It's a traditional, it's a classic park, but it's those dimensions. Like, you want to complain about Yankee Stadium. Let's talk about Fenway's dimensions. None of it makes sense. And Judge stays hot, and he's ripping balls, man. I think he ripped that line drive RBI. I don't know what the exit velo was on it, but it was fast. Then he ripped another one down the line, but Devers came up with it. Like, it looks good. Judge is pulling the ball, and he's pulling, and he's hitting them hard. So he is definitely feeling good right now. And it's good to see Judge hot because, again, big role in the playoffs. We need him to come up big, and we need him to hit more than just home runs, But hopefully they also get his strike zone right. The umpires need to get together and be like, this dude is 7 feet tall. I'm exaggerating. He's 6'7". And you're calling balls across the shin. I understand that that's a strike to someone that's only 6'2", 6'3", but to Aaron Judge, I mean, he can't go golfing for it. And they have to get together and figure this out because he gets struck out. He probably has an additional 25 strikeouts because of how the strike zone is for him and how he has to chase balls because he knows they're going to get called strikes. I mean, I saw a few yesterday that were getting called strikes, and you can see he's annoyed, but Aaron Judge keeps his cool. But I feel like he's gonna lose it one day, or Aaron Boone has to step in. Encarnacion again stays hot. And Maben is silently. I know he's been injured and he hasn't had as many at bats, but my dude Maben is silently batting .293, and probably will not make the playoff roster. I thought that was pretty cool. I was just looking at the batting averages. .293 for a guy that's basically off the bench. Impressive. Next man up. That's just how it goes. And so one bad. We don't know what it is yet. I haven't read anything about it yet, but it's going to be something with the calf. Mike Tauchman is hurt. So just when you get back Gio Urshela, now Mike Tauchman gets hurt. I said this on Twitter. If you don't follow me, it's at That's Baseball Erika. The baseball gods just don't see it fair to have a fully functioning, fully healthy juggernaut of a Yankee team because it's like if one goes down, one comes up or comes out of the pit of despair, a.k.a. the IL, one goes back down. It's like you can't have it fully healthy, which is crazy. But it also comes to where we don't know what's happening with Hicks. He had a setback. Stanton is supposed to be rehabbing, but there's still no timetable on when he's going to return. We don't know how he's going to be when he gets back. You have to have Stanton in there. I've said it. I mean, Tauchman was hot at the time. He hit a 2-run home run yesterday. But if he's hurt, you don't get Hicks back. Stanton is in limbo. Who do you have in left field for the playoffs? I want to say Clint Frazier because I love him. And I think he has so much potential. The ceiling is so high for him. But do you trust him in the playoffs to play left field? No. He's going to be erratic. He's going to be super, just pumped up and probably going nuts in left field. I think he's going to play left field tonight against the Red Sox. And I want to see how he handles balls off of the Green Monster. That's not an easy place to play, especially not left field. And I guess it'll be a test for him. Because the last time he played the Red Sox, he made 3 errors or 2 errors. I was at the game. It was bad. So we'll see what happens. But I guess you plug in Frazier, And my other thing about the playoffs is, I've been saying this. Paxton, Herman, Tanaka. Boom. 3 starters for the playoff rotation. Luis Severino should be an opener. Pitch 2 innings and get fouled 2 or 3 innings because he can do that. That's what he's doing in his rehab starts right now, and it looks good. His last performance was actually really good versus his first outing. Have him open, and then Chad Green comes in and pitches 2 innings. It's perfect. There's your 4-man rotation for the playoffs. I think it works. The only thing is Chad Green and Sevy they tend to be the same pitcher. That's the only problem with that. So it's kind of like you're having him go 5 innings, but it's not a bad problem to have. They're overpowering fastballs, and then Luis Severino has dirty breaking ball. So, but we'll see what happens. So tonight's the game 4. Paxton pitches, and the Yankees' magic number is 10. And if the Yankees win today, the Red Sox they're completely done. There's so many question marks. I mean, their president, Dombrowski, just got fired. There's so many question marks with them. Mookie Betts is going to be a free agent. J.D. Martinez is going to be a free agent. I mean, this is not a Red Sox podcast, but they got a lot of stuff. They got a lot of work to do in the offseason. But as a Yankees fan, I am completely okay with the debacle that is happening over there in Boston. So, other than that, Yankees play tonight. And I will see you guys in the next one. And as always, please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And as always, let's go Yankees.